Welcome to our new storytelling corner called Mysteries, Enigmatic Answers Beyond Miracles. In this first episode, we'll present two stories. The first is about black magic and its consequences, titled The Curse Rebounds. The second story explores tree spirits in the context of Thai society. Both of these intriguing tales are written by the author Juti. If you're ready, let's dive into these mysterious narratives. The Curse Rebounds. Black magic remains deeply rooted in Thai society, especially in rural areas. Several years ago, stories of nails mysteriously appearing in people's stomachs made headlines across various media outlets. One such case involved the abbot of Wat Hat Songkwe, who sought treatment at Uttaradit Hospital for severe abdominal pain. X-rays revealed 2 nails in his stomach. While doctors believed he had swallowed them, his relatives and the abbot himself were convinced it was the result of black magic, citing previous incidents where a shaman had removed nails and pins from his body. A similar case occurred at Somdej Phrayaparaj Denchai Hospital in Phray Province. A soldier was admitted with intense stomach pain, and X-rays showed 4 nails, each at least 2 inches long, along with 2 bent metal pieces resembling fishhooks, scattered throughout his stomach and large intestine. Again, medical professionals suspected ingestion, while family members attributed it to black magic. Decades earlier, teacher Ep1 and his close friend, both government officials, were assigned to work in a rural district near the border in northeastern Thailand. At that time, the forests were believed to be full of bandits with magical powers, and black magic beliefs permeated rural society alongside Buddhist practices. Travel between villages, districts, and provinces involved traversing dense forests without modern roads. People feared encountering black magic, believed to be cast by sorcerers from neighboring countries, as well as magically empowered bandits. Surrounded by these beliefs, Yuan's friend suggested they learn black magic for self-protection from a Khmer teacher. The teacher insisted they learn in pairs, as the art involved both casting and countering spells. They learned both white and black magic. Learning black magic came with various prohibitions. Some texts required strict adherence to religious precepts, while others had specific taboos like not committing adultery or avoiding certain foods. These rules were explained as necessary to maintain the potency of their magic and avoid harm to themselves. Yuan and his friend became skilled practitioners, able to protect themselves from spirits and bandits. Eventually, Yuan was promoted to headmaster in a distant village, separating the friends. One night, returning late from official business in another district, Yuan performed a ritual at his doorstep, blowing on his knees 3 times before entering. When his wife inquired, he explained he was releasing a forest spirit he had bound to a tree during his journey. He had encountered the troublesome spirit and, after attempts to pacify it failed, used a spell to bind it, intending to release it safely once home. Yuan never harmed any spirits, always choosing to neutralize their threat temporarily. This story illustrates the complex interplay between traditional beliefs and daily life in rural Thailand, highlighting the perceived need for magical protection in a world seen as full of supernatural dangers. However, the life paths of teacher Yuan and his friend who studied black magic together diverged dramatically. One day, Yuan heard that his friend had fallen ill and went to visit him. After returning from this visit, Yuan isolated himself in his room for a long time. Eventually, he confided in his wife that his friend had broken the teacher's rules and lost control of his powers. As a result, an evil spirit had possessed him, turning him into a pob ghost. Yuan suspected that this malevolent spirit was one his friend had been nurturing, and he couldn't understand why his friend had turned to dark magic, losing control over it. Yuan found it difficult to help his friend and warned his wife to be cautious if this friend ever visited, strictly forbidding her from sharing meals with him. Yuan's friend lived in torment for many years. Rumors spread that he would seclude himself in his room during the day, avoiding conversation with anyone. At night, he would stay up late and refuse to eat food prepared by his family. Yuan never visited him again, and his friend rarely came to see Yuan unless absolutely necessary. Eventually, Yuan's friend became bedridden, unable to move. Some nights he would deliriously cry out, "No, no!" His body became emaciated, pale, and lifeless, reduced to skin and bones. Yuan told his wife that the Pob ghost was consuming his friend from the inside, and he would suffer like this until someone else accepted the spirit. Yuan didn't offer any advice to his friend's family, only observing from afar. Finally, his friend passed away. Deep down, Yuan's family knew who had inherited the thing, and even today, that person lives a difficult life despite seeking solace in Buddhism. The author shared this story with a senior colleague who was familiar with various ethnic communities, especially Khmer, Cham, Sui, and Yer. Although the events occurred long ago, the senior believed that such practices still exist in hidden corners of society. Black magic texts from Khmer, Cham, Sui, Mon, and Islamic traditions persist. From an anthropological perspective, the concept of a curse rebounding serves as a filter for these negative practices, encouraging people to think before acting and reducing wrongdoing. The prohibitions in black magic act as a form of social control, keeping practitioners in check. In Buddhist terms, this reflects the law of karma. The practice of sending students to collect coffin nails or other difficult-to-obtain items serves as a screening process. It's likened to raising a Pob ghost. It feeds on you but must be released to feed on others, only to return later. Learning dark magic requires this release as practice, and failure to do so results in self-destruction. Poor management of these powers leads to them turning against the practitioner. Maintaining loyalty to the teacher and preserving the power is like keeping one's word. It's a criterion for controlling those who learn black magic, with life-threatening consequences for those who fail to maintain it, the senior explained. Regarding treatment for those afflicted by black magic, Buddhist belief holds that it depends on each individual's karma. Common magical treatments involve circling an egg around the affected area while chanting, then cracking it open to reveal nails, pins, hair, or a foul blood smell. These practices are largely based on belief, as some practitioners use tricks, though genuine cases are not unheard of. The story of Teacher Yuan is actually about the author's grandfather, Ta Yuan, who was the former headmaster of Ban Nong Eri School. He was highly respected by villagers in Nong Eri and neighboring villages. Often, when villagers believed they were possessed by spirits and shamans couldn't help, instead of seeking monks, they would call on Ta Yuan to exorcise the spirits. Rumors spread that as soon as Ta Yuan stepped on the threshold of a house, the possessing spirit would immediately flee. However, when asked, Ta Yuan would explain that these people were suffering from mass hysteria. As the headmaster, he had taught most of the villagers, and his presence might have scared away their delusions. Once, the author, wanting to exercise, went for a morning run around the village and through the outer fields. Nothing seemed amiss, but by evening, villagers were spreading rumors that someone who had gone out to tend to buffaloes in the morning had been afflicted by black magic and gone mad, now speaking incoherently. The author's aunt, knowing her niece had been out running at the same time, feared she might have been harmed by the same magic. This led Ta Yuan to perform a ritual for the author, using holy water and placing a ritual knife on her crown while she sat on a chair. When asked what he was chanting, Ta Yuan simply replied, "Just regular prayers. There's no special incantation. This ritual helps cure people of their delusions." Ta Yuan often told his grandchildren that ghosts weren't real and that black magic was a hoax used to make money. However, the grandchildren still believed he possessed magical powers. This belief wasn't from strangers, but from their grandmother who had told them stories about Tai Yuan's past. The author was one of these grandchildren who had witnessed certain events, leaving her half believing and half skeptical. The grandmother explained that Tai Yuan was heartbroken about his friend who had fallen victim to his own magic. As a result, he refused to pass on any knowledge of black magic to his descendants or even tell them stories about it. Instead, he turned to Buddhist teachings, believing that the Buddha's wisdom was the true key to a safe and prosperous life. While white magic could be used to help people, its core principle of maintaining pure morality was essentially the same as Buddhist teachings. Therefore, Tai Yuan always taught his grandchildren to use the Buddha's teachings as protection. He believed that maintaining moral precepts would serve as a shield, keeping them safe, not black magic. This story illustrates the complex interplay between traditional beliefs and Buddhist teachings in rural Thai society, and how one man's experiences led him to choose wisdom and morality over supernatural practices.
Introduction: Belief in tree spirits in Thai society. In Thai society, the belief in sacred entities residing in nature has a long history, particularly the belief in deities or spirits inhabiting large trees, known as both Rukkadevata, tree gods, and Nong Mai, tree spirits. Rukkadevata are often portrayed in folk tales as male deities who protect large trees. They frequently appear in stories teaching moral lessons, such as the tale of the woodcutter and the tree spirit. In contrast, Nong Mai are often presented in contemporary media, such as films, as female spirits inhabiting trees, especially Takian trees. Nong Mai are often viewed as frightening and potentially seductive to men. However, when worshipped, they may be elevated to the status of a revered mother spirit of that particular tree. Beliefs about Nong Mai take various forms. Some believe they are the spirits of young women who died near trees and must atone for their karma. Others believe they are deities residing in trees, with heavenly palaces within the trees, akin to another dimension of the Katamaharajika heaven. Some Nong Mai may help humans, for instance by giving lottery numbers, leading to their worship and elevation as revered mother spirits. These beliefs reflect the relationship between humans and nature in Thai culture, and continue to influence people's way of life in the present day. Experience with a tree spirit. A tale from a government housing complex. In a 2-story wooden row house in a government housing complex, there's an intriguing story about a tree spirit. My family moved into the second house, and old residents often said the area was once a cemetery. In front of the house stood a sesbania tree. Strangely, when cut with a knife, it oozed dark red sap resembling blood, unlike the typical white sap of sesbania trees. We children often cut it playfully until our mother forbade us. A few years later, the tree was struck by lightning and died. We planted a neem tree in its place without removing the dead sesbania. Odd events began occurring during summer. My sister, who often slept on the front porch, dreamed of a woman in a green tie dress inviting her to live with her. At first, it seemed normal, but as the dreams became frequent, our mother grew worried and warned her not to accept the invitation in her dreams. One night, I too encountered the woman in green at the foot of my bed. I felt paralyzed and couldn't move. She introduced herself as Mukta before vanishing. Afterwards, I began falling ill frequently, especially with headaches and fevers in the evenings. It took my father over a year to request a house transfer. After moving, my sister stopped having dreams, and I regained my health. Later, our mother told us she had made merit with the new occupants of our old house. They had set up a shrine for the tree spirit as advised by a medium, with a figurine of a woman in green tie dress named Mukta. This story sparked debates among friends. Some believed staying would have been dangerous, while others questioned the red sap of the sesbania tree, which, despite scientific explanations, remains a rare phenomenon. Another friend shared her family's experience with a tree spirit at their residence in Lopburi province. Her mother had communicated with the spirit and understood that it merely wanted to look after the house and disliked gatherings or gambling on the premises. Conclusion and insights. Tree spirits in the context of Thai society. From the shared stories and experiences, we can summarize the concepts about tree spirits in Thai society as follows. Territory and respect. Tree spirits often have their own territory, which may be a tree or a house area. Trespassing or disrespect may lead to consequences for the residents. Communication and acceptance. Talking, understanding, and accepting the existence of tree spirits may help humans and spirits coexist peacefully. Beliefs and practices. Worship, rituals, or building shrines for tree spirits are ways Thai people show respect and seek protection. Consequences of actions. Beliefs about tree spirits reflect ideas of karma and the results of one's actions. Treating the spirit or its place well or poorly affects the doer. Social and cultural dimensions. Stories about tree spirits reflect social values and norms, such as not disturbing others, respecting nature, and living together peacefully. Modern interpretations. Even in modern society, beliefs about tree spirits remain influential but may be reinterpreted to fit current contexts, such as seeing them as symbols of nature conservation. Human-nature relationship. Tree spirit stories reflect the deep relationship between humans and nature in Thai culture, which remains important today. Ultimately, whether we view tree spirit stories as beliefs or cultural narratives, the important thing is understanding their underlying meanings and applying them to live respectfully towards the environment and others. These beliefs continue to shape Thai society and culture, even in an era of advanced science and technology.
That concludes our first episode of Mysteries, Enigmatic Answers Beyond Miracles. Join us again for the next episode. If you don't want to miss our new stories, please like and follow our channel to support the admin. Thank you.